Thanks for joining me and welcome to what will hopefully be a series of fairly regular hobby updates from the 2Ps. Hoping to get Ben involved if I can as well, because I know you'll all want to see Ben. Tried this before but haven't managed to pin it down to be fairly regular, so hoping this time maybe every couple of weeks in between the podcasts coming out. So for those of you who don't know who we are, 2Ps in a Pod is a real community focused podcast. We're on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, YouTube as well of course, trying really to promote positivity and cool things that are going on in the hobby. We're lucky enough to have been doing the podcast now for a couple of years, got a nice core of listeners, so thanks to you guys if you are watching. And really want to encourage you guys to like the video if you do, comment as well, subscribe on YouTube, go over to Podbean, become a follower, get involved really with the 2Ps community, and we're hoping as time goes on we're going to grow that into something bigger. There's something really fun for everyone, so yeah, thanks for joining me. So my idea with these is just to give you guys an update of what I've been up to in the hobby over the last couple of weeks. Cool things that I've seen, got excited about, or Ben if Ben's along, and talk about projects going forward. So I wanted to use this first video to talk about Modelbox. So George at Modelbox has been kind enough to send Ben and I one of his model boxes each month to have a look through, and then we've chosen to talk about it. So really importantly, we don't get sent product by people. We just really try and focus on just the stuff that we're really excited about. So with the exception of the model box. So the model box we do get sent. George really kindly sent it along and we really like it. We like the concept. We like the fact that Modelbox has a little community page going on as well on Facebook where you can talk about what's in there. And George has been kind enough to send the Modelbox along to me again. So I just wanted to talk through what I've got. So these are the model boxes. Clearly this is a bit far away for you guys to see what's in here. So I'll switch the camera around. We'll have a look what's in the box. And then we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more about what George is up to and why I think this is a cool thing. I think you can see, yeah, addresses on the back there. You open it up, bunch of things in here. Now I should say George normally puts in some sweets. Those never make it to any of these videos or reviews if I do any. That's gone already. So this month's theme is Revolution. So lots of historical stuff in here. So let's have a look. So first up, we've got Rox. So Rox is a fox-like character that is exclusive to Modelbox, and he's kind of their mascot. So this is Rox as Napoleon. Really nice sculpt, and the quality of the cast's really good as well. Bit of a fun thing though, that one. So pop that one over here. We then have a couple of sprues of British troops from the American War of Independence. I'm actually just checking that. Yes, that is the case. Fortunately, that's a good time to mention this. So it comes with a little card telling you about what you've got. There we go. So these guys from Warlord. You can see the sprues there. Put them to one side. We've got some French late line infantry command pack. So Warlord Games, nice sculpts, and they did also, there was an alternate, so there was also the British version as well in some of the boxes. But I picked up the French, so a little, very vicious looking guy with an axe down there. That appeals to me and my Cornate side. So we got those. A couple of Vallejo colours as well. So if you've not had a chance to experience Vallejo colours, they are pretty cool. Many people rave about the dropper bottle application. I quite like it. It's useful for my airbrush. Burnt red, I like that colour. Very nice. Goes kind of well with this board. Anyway. And some static grass as well to try out. So yeah, that's what's come in the box this month. Obviously just a quick overview. We'll switch back and I'll have a chat about what it is I love about Modelbox. This month's Modelbox. really like the concept of Model Box. I think it's ace that it helps promote different companies, different products that maybe you wouldn't have come across before. I think it's a good way if you haven't got a very focused idea of what you want to do with your hobby to explore some of that. It's a good deal as well. You get some cool miniatures in there for the price, and you can subscribe to it and you can start and finish that whenever you want, depending on which subscription you go for. I think one of the challenges is if you do get a box you're not interested in. So what's pretty cool is you can go back and purchase previous boxes. So if you don't want to subscribe, you can still purchase boxes for something you might be interested in. So for example, this was Revolution, but there's also been Tribal, there's been Sci-Fi, there's been Punk, there's been many different themes, so you can go back and purchase just the ones you like. I think that's really useful. So yeah, that's Model Box. Thanks again to George for sending that. Otherwise, in the hobby, other than Model Box this week, I have been trying to be a bit more focused, create a few more things. I've not got a lot of painting done just of late, so been working to get some more units from across the game systems that I do done. So there's loads and loads of great stuff coming out right now from Games Workshop. You guys will know if you listen to the podcast that I'm really a big fan of Games Workshop stuff. That tends to be where all my focus goes. So trying to do a bit for Warcry, a bit for Titanicus, little bit for 40k still, Age of Sigmar, The Hobbit, Aeronautica Imperialis is just about to come out. And of course I stand here right now, probably about 6 hours, maybe a bit more away from the big reveals from the Nova Open. So exciting times, time to get some focus on. So what I've started doing is trying to paint something for each game system every month. This is month 1. I started on the 16th of August, really, in earnest. So we're only 12, 13 days in right now. And I'm quite pleased with the progress so far. And what I'll do is I'll just flick over and I'll show you that stuff. Iron Golem. So these guys from the new Warcry starter set, fairly cornate feeling, although they're not typically classed as that. I had to paint these guys. They are cool. So massive thanks to Pete the Wargamer. The paint scheme comes from him. These were done over a couple of nights. I was really pleased with the speed. They aren't the tip-top best quality you'll ever see, obviously. That's not my ability level, let alone the way I paint. But what they are is on the table within a couple of nights, and that was really pleasing to me. So lots of contrast work over the Grey Seer primer, which was the only change I made to the way that Pete had done it. I undercoated it with Grey Seer and painted the silver on, and he put the silver on and painted the Grey Seer where he needed it on the flesh colours. But really pleased with the outcome. They haven't played the game yet, but for the speed, absolutely chuffed with those. So we'll move those over. So coming up next, something else I've been working on is my Necromunda bulkheads. So as you can see, quite weathered. So lots of weathering powders on these guys, from Forge World weathering powders. A little bit of object source lighting with the light. I don't do a lot of that, but I felt they needed some colour. And just some transfers. I think the number 2 there is from the Cadian transfer set with the Mechanicus symbol coming from the Mechanicus transfers, unsurprisingly. There we are. So I have done the full set of these, and there are pictures of those over on the Facebook, but I won't show you them all now. But if you have any more interest in how these are done, please let me know, ask in the comments, and I can put some more detail up, or just send us a message. Okay, Knight Cerastus. So these guys are the thing I started right at the start of August and actually spoke about on the last issue of the podcast as having partly got through them. They are now finished. I really like these models. Really looking forward to painting the Pytheron, which is probably, I don't know, maybe the Reaver Titan next, but it won't be too long. And again, bit of contrast, bit of standard paints. Loving the new Morghast brown, or Morghast bone, sorry, which I used for the bone areas on these guys. Push them over. So next up we have a diminutive little fellow in Farmer Maggot and his hounds. So these were almost exclusively painted with contrast, with the exception of the bases and the little scythe, and took I don't know, a couple of hours maybe, if that. Very, very small, but I love them, and I love all the flowers. This is all Gamer's Grass stuff. Do like their range, really nice. So let's pop him over there. So as part of the podcast, we do a segment on the Hobbit, and that's what Farmer Maggot is coming in for. And then last, but by no means least, well, maybe they are really, to be fair, some Chaos Cultists. So I have got 10 of these guys. Painted these up over a couple of nights as well. Quite pleased with them. Just basic colour scheme, really. I want to have 100 cultists to bulk out my force for Apocalypse. Just because visually I think it'll look ideal. But that's going to take a bit of work. But there's 10 anyway to go with the 24 I've already got. Guys, sorry for the quality of the video. I know it's not as high and up there as many fantastic content producers. It's more just an update for those of you that are interested in who the TPs are and what we do. If you want any more detail on how I've painted any of the things you've seen, please do just message us. More than happy to answer questions, provide photos, or even do a little video if there's enough requests. Don't forget to like the video if it is your bag, or please provide some constructive feedback if you feel it's necessary. We're always happy to get anything constructive back, anything that can help us do something a little better. Do head over to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and look us up at the 2Ps podcast, and please get involved. We love seeing community posts. We've got a nice little hobby group going, real positive atmosphere. See lots of great stuff in there, and that's really, really cool. Ben and I really proud of that. One of our favourite things, I think. Other than that, hopefully, all being well, we'll get another one of these updates out in 2 weeks' time. The next thing coming from the 2Ps is the next episode of the podcast, episode 47. Ben and I will be recording that on Friday of this week to come out next Wednesday. So that's the 4th of September. And other than that, guys, enjoy your hobby. Please send us some pictures. And don't forget those Nova Open reveals.